All right, get out your pen and paper because we are learning the art of cooking from a local pro.
Yes, Molly Reel is live in Sacramento meeting Chef Rebecca Campbell this morning. Hey, Malls.
Yeah, and we have two chefs. We have Chef Bex and we have Junior Chef Meredith. Now, if you have ever eaten food from Chef Rebecca Campbell, you know she is a culinary superstar. She's the owner of Sac City Brews in Tahoe Park, an incredible neighborhood tap house. She owns Nourish Events Kitchen catering company. She was a lead chef for the Tower Bridge dinner. She's incredible. But what does she cook at home? Well, that's why we have Meredith here too, because Chef Bex, when it comes to cooking at home, it really is a family affair, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and our family loves noodles.
Family loves noodles. Well, let's talk a little bit about you. We're going to spend the whole morning with you learning some techniques when it comes to shopping and cooking. But first, your background. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It starts with 2 master's degrees.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one in English from University of Nevada, Reno, and then community development at Davis, which is really where I got back in touch with my agricultural roots because I grew up in the foothills.
You grew up in the foothills of Auburn, farming, so, you know, fresh produce, local produce, that's really the heart and soul of what you do.
Yeah, that's right. So I grew up on a permaculture farm. My parents were sort of hipster granola before it was cool. So yeah, eating seasonally and eating from the land is something that it's kind of in my DNA. So that's kind of why the restaurant is the way it is and the way that I do our catering events. Every event is a one-off because it's really just like, what do we have available? What are we doing?
Yeah, and I said to you, like, the food at Sac City Brews is kind of sneaky because it's a tap house. So some people, think, okay, beer food, which it is beer food, but it's so elevated, it's so seasonal. In fact, so much of your produce comes from like 3 blocks away at an urban farm, Route 64. And the food is so delicious. And when it comes to cooking for you, like, community is what it's all about, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, I am a community developer, I guess, at heart. Yeah. I love cooking for my family. I love cooking for my friends. And now Sac City Brews is kind of an extension of that. It feels like it's the neighborhood dining room. There's lots of nights when you walk in there and we know tons of kids. Our kids will just play with other kids. I'm like, why do we even have tables in here? We should have couches. Like, people are just hanging out. We have so many relationships now with our whole neighborhood. It feels like a fabric rather than just like we live in these separate boxes. And I'm so grateful for the restaurant for doing that.
Yeah, and with the Tower Bridge dinner, we have some photos from that time. I mean, that was what it was all about to you too, highlighting the community of chefs that you're involved with.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest perk of this job is working with the chefs in Sacramento. Not only are we so lucky that we live in Sacramento and have access to amazing produce year-round, but we have access to just super creative people, collaborative people. There aren't a lot of egos in Sacramento. It's really just a lot more about working together and promoting our region, promoting our craft, way more than it really is about, who is doing this the best. I've gotten, mentored. I was new to the gig 7 years ago and been mentored by Mike Fagnoni of Hawks, Brad from Cannon, Mulvaney, Bobbin took me under her wing the first year. The women in culinary are amazing. So it's just been a really great thing. Now really good friends still with my cohort from the 2023 Bridge Dinner and have gotten to do lots of one-offs where we invite folks into the restaurant and we get to do collabs. Chris Hunt from Oak House, and then getting to meet people that you never thought you'd meet,
Chef Tyler Florence among them. Yeah. So, okay, coming up, we're going to cook one of Meredith's favorite dishes. What is it, Meredith?
It's I forget the name of it, but it's this pasta and it has squash in it and it has onions and it has this pasta and it's super good.
It's going to be super good. I hope you bring your appetite. Coming up. Having some fun with fennel this Friday morning. Hey, welcome back to Good Day Sacramento. I'm Molly Reel, live in the kitchen with a culinary superstar. This is Chef Rebecca Campbell and her daughter, Junior Chef Meredith. Now, Chef Bex owns Sac City Brews, Nourish Kitchen Events, and is a former Tower Bridge dinner chef. When it comes to cooking like a chef, most chefs will say it all starts with the right ingredients. Few know that as well as you. You literally grew up with that in your bones, right, Chef?
Yes, that's right. I grew up on a small farm in the foothills. So it was a permaculture farm, meaning that we move crops and animals rotating to keep the soil super nutrient dense. And eating seasonally is just something that I've always done. This pasta that we're making today is actually right at the tail end because we're in March and our spring is coming a little early this year. So we have Delicatta, that is a winter squash, and it's been the squash gets sweeter as it's stored with this nice hard skin. And then we're using some shallots because Meredith prefers this dish a little sweeter. So shallots give sauce a little bit more depth of sweetness than just a yellow onion. And then fennel right also at the end of its season. And so, yeah, it's really fun being able to work with local farmers. We source for the restaurant. We source a lot of our food from local farms like Route 64, a lot of the farms out in Cape, and then, the farmers markets under the bridge, and just Produce Express. We're so lucky to have that amazing distributor. For this, I'm lucky enough to just be able to say, hey, Randy, Randy and Sarah, the farmers at Route 64, like, what do you have left? Pick it up.
Yeah, and if you go to Sac City Brews, you'll notice the name Route 64 on the menu a lot because it's literally blocks away from the tap house. Meredith, what do you love about this pasta dish so much?
I like it because it's really sweet, but I also like it because cause all my friends, when I was younger, kids' food, it would usually just be like dino nuggets and weird dino nuggets and weird food like that. But I like this food because it's really, really yummy. Plus it's all made from my favorite vegetables.
The perks of growing up with a mom as a chef, and I know you spend a lot of time in the kitchen together. Let's talk about the pasta because I know Meredith helped pick this out. Going down the pasta aisle at Cordy Brothers is a delight. Talk about why you chose this medley of noodles.
Well, first,
Meredith could take it.
I like this pasta because it looked really crazy, and if you look at it in a way, it kind of looks like a car wheel, like the bottom of a car wheel.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I like this pasta a lot because it was like they were all stuck together, and then the waves because it kind of looked like it was wavy.
It was. And Chef Bex, there's a reason why they're kind of heartier.
Yeah, so these are chunkier pastas. Every pasta sauce and every pasta noodle kind of can be paired for an eating, efficiency. These are chunkier pastas because we're making a chunkier pasta sauce. We're making a chunky vegetable sauce with fennel and squash, and then there's going to be some bacon lardon on there for a little crispy texture. So these chunkier noodles are nice. They're also easier for her little brother, who's only 2, to pick up and eat. So we definitely want a chunkier pasta for this rather than a longer noodle or a tube.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, we have met these chefs. We know how they shop. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to get to cooking. We're cooking Meredith's favorite pasta dish. So I hope you'll join us. And don't forget, we have posted a picture to Facebook. If you have any questions at all that you want to ask Chef Bex and maybe Chef Meredith as well, go there now. We'll answer them in the 10 o'clock hour of the show when we are enjoying this pasta dish.
That looks delicious, Molly. Thank you very much.
Some kids grow up eating Lunchables. Chef Mare Bear here, she's just snacking on lardons and shaved parm. What a life. Welcome back to Good Day Sacramento. We are spending the morning with Chef Mare Bear and her mom, local culinary superstar, Chef Rebecca Campbell of Sac City Brews, showing us how Chef Bex cooks at home. And that means oftentimes cooking with Chef Meredith, as well as your almost 2-year-old son, Mateo. Yeah. So we are cooking a favorite pasta. So we've already started. We've cooked those lardons down, and then tell us what you've done.
Yeah, so the backbone of the sauce is definitely that really good bacon grease. I actually use a combo of pepper bacon and applewood so that the seasoning is kind of already in there. You have salt and a little bit of spice going.
Yeah.
And then we added shallots, which we talked about earlier. Shallots just give your sauce a little bit more depth than an onion. A white onion or a yellow onion will totally work in a snap. So don't get yourself worked up about what you have in your pantry if it's not shallots, but Meredith prefers them, so, Mom does what Bear wants. And we also have some fennel in there, which is the sweet anise. It's a more licorice flavor, root vegetable, and then some Delicatta Squash. So sweet, earthy. Again, this is kind of a sweet profile, and then it goes with that pepper from the bacon, and then you add a little bit of pepper on top. I'm like, what? Oh, and the cream.
Bex and I have been bonding over the similar mom brains. Our sons are like 2 weeks apart and aren't sleeping that well right now. So then you're going to boil the pasta, and we've chosen this pasta for a special reason.
Yeah, so we have this nice, fun, again, I said because I have a 2-year-old, it's nice for my kid to be able to eat with his hands or a fork, working on those gross motor skills. But we do want a chunkier pasta and not a noodle or a tube here, because we are going to have a more chunky sauce, as you can see. This cream sauce, as soon as these vegetables are sweated a little bit more, we're going to add cream, and it's going to just kind of develop into a thickened sauce. And we'll dump the pasta into this boiling water here in a minute. Always salty like the ocean. I don't tend to cook with a ton of salt on the top, but like to add it into the ingredients as they go. So we'll finish with a little bit and the cheese from the salt from the parm, but not overly salty because you have it in the bacon grease, you have it in your pasta already.
Okay, and I see this is cream or this is milk?
Heavy cream.
Heavy cream.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be a good sauce. What is your favorite thing about this pasta, Bear?
I really like how heavy it is and like creamy it is. Especially I like it when there's pumpkin noodles, and that's good because we made this in during Halloween, and we made it on Halloween night, and we used pumpkin noodles, and it was so fun.
Yeah, it's fun that you get to have fun with the noodles. Okay, so coming up, we're going to plate these dishes. We've got some herbs here to top it with, those lardons and some Parmesan cheese. She has shared this recipe with us, so we will have that on our website if you want to make it at home. And then don't forget, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we are going to sit down and eat and then answer all of your questions at home. So if you are dying to know, if you have any cooking tips you need, just go to our Facebook page and ask Chef Bex, and she will be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my appetite ready, and I know Bear is ready. So we will see you in just about an hour, guys.
Ready?
So earlier I said I would eat just a bowl of the lardon. Well, now that I see all the other ingredients, I
You'll wait for the
want to
whole
wait
meal.
for it to all be done.
We'll catch up with you in a little bit, Molly.
I'll tell you what, usually I wait to take my first bite when we're live on camera. This time around, could not wait. It is so good, Meredith. You have good taste. So if you're just joining us, welcome back to Good Day Sacramento. I'm Molly Reel. I have been spending the entire morning with Chef Rebecca Campbell of Sac City Brews. She has been teaching us how to think, shop, and cook like a chef. She made her daughter, Chef Mare Bear's favorite dish. This is a fennel, bacon, and Delicatta Squash pasta. It's so good. It's creamy. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. She has shared her recipe with us, so you can find it on our website, gooddaysacramento.com, and I hope you make it and share with us how much you love it. In the meantime, all morning you have been asking questions of Chef Bex. So Chef, let's just get started. What ingredients are going to be in season soon that you are excited for, since you are so produce focused?
I am excited for the Delta asparagus season that's starting. We're also going to be getting some strawberries, so the seascape strawberries. If you love the super, super sweet ones, those will be getting going.
Where do you find those?
Well, so Route 64 has
yeah.
an amazing crop of strawberries. And then, yeah, the Delta asparagus is so great. You know, this pasta is fun because it's actually just a sort of building block, and you can swap out the veggies. So in the spring, we'll be putting peas and asparagus and leeks sort of in to start that flavor profile. And then in the summer, you know, I'll probably put in some grilled squash and red onions and peppers and that sort of thing. So you can kind of just keep it going.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a
easy.
question about onions. Picking out onions at the grocery store, which, you know, it's one of those produces you just kind of pick up. So this is a shallot, but kind of showing us how do you pick out an onion?
I mean, just a firm onion. You want to also look and make sure that if it's getting squishy, then it's probably been sitting for a while, or you might get that sort of more translucent outer layer
they
of the
don't like
onions.
that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, because then you're also wasting some of your product. But that happens when the onion is at the end of its life cycle and it's beginning to be another plant. So onions are a root, they're a root allium, and they're going to just create sprouts, and then you're going to cut those up if you wanted to farm them and replant them to get another crop. So when it's getting squishy like that, it's probably also starting to sprout.
She also mentioned if you see it green at top, because I think green, not ripe yet. She says that means it's older, so that's not a good one. Don't go green. Really quickly, producer Cam, who used to do trivia at Sac City Brews, a huge fan of theirs, he wanted to know, how do you make the turkey burger so juicy?
Well, I always, a burger, the more meat that you're incorporating into it is going to give it a more depth of flavor. So for our burgers, we actually just season them simply with salt, pepper, and oregano. But our patty is with both dark meat and the turkey breast. So it's a combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
She also said, Cam, don't overcook it.
Yeah, don't overcook it.
Just don't screw up, okay?
Just attempt, bud. Just attempt.
Hey, we have had the best morning here with you guys. Thank you so much for inviting us into your home. Meredith, you did a great job. How's the pasta?
Delicious.
Delicious. Is it your favorite? Okay, really quickly as we wrap things up, can you just show us how you cut that bread? Because I love that.
Yeah.
Look. And then you can just pull it apart like, oh, I'll have this piece.
Yep.
There we go. I didn't do it great, but you get the idea. We have this recipe for you online if you want to make it. And again, just swap out the vegetables as they come in season. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to her at Sac City Brews Instagram. Go visit her at Sac City Brews.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on. It's the best, especially if you have kids or dogs. It is so welcoming and wonderful. And the food, it is good and it is in season. We'll see you guys later. Happy Friday.
So,
Have a good day, Sacramento.
Aw, bye,
So-
sweetie.
Molly, we were staring longingly at the pasta. Then I was like practically grabbing Courtney's forearm, going, "Look at the bread! Look at the bread!
Look at the bread. Look at Yeah. That right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh man!
It's a good day to be me. And this is a lemon
A
bread.
Meyer lemon and rosemary. It's from the baker and the cake maker, but I just picked it up at Cordy's.
Yeah, it just gets better. Lemon just for you guys.
That looks amazing. Well, I had a leftover salad. If you wanted.
So good.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Molly.
Molly.